Hey friends! In today's video, I'm sharing this look, which is perfect for all your holiday parties, your special occasions, and all the events that fill your calendar at this time of year. I'm 42 years old, so as all my videos do, I really wanted to create a look using products that are over 40 skin approved and that will make you look beautiful and glamorous without overdone. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, you guys, let's do this. I'm so excited about this video. I'm excited to glam it up a little bit, go a little bit more glam than I do here on my channel. I usually create pretty like everyday wearable looks, but today we're just going to glam it up a little bit. Not to say you couldn't wear this every day. You can do whatever you want to do. That is the beauty of makeup. It is your choice. Okay, I do want to call out my skin. I don't know if you noticed, but it is glowing today. One thing I always do before any special event, I also do this whenever I travel, and I actually do this, try to do this 3 times a week or so in the winter, is I go in with a plumping hydrating sheet mask. And this is one of my favorites. This is from City Beauty. It's the Bi-Cellulose Sheet Face Mask. They are so good, you guys. I have one here. You get 5 masks in this box. It has peptides and hyaluronic acid in it. When you put this on your face, it just feels incredible. It feels cooling, even if you don't have it in the refrigerator. I do like to keep mine in the refrigerator so they're extra cold, especially if you're doing it in the morning when you wake up and you're kind of puffy. That'll help kind of, I feel like, maybe I'm making it up, but I feel like it really does help reduce swelling and puffiness in the face. These are so good. So these are your best friend in your skin prep when you have a special event, and especially this time of year because our skin gets dry. By the way, you guys, everything on City Beauty is 40% off right now. Site-wide 40% off, you guys. I actually teamed up with them for this video, so let's all thank them for sponsoring today's video. Add this to your list of things to pick up. I have a few other products that we'll talk about later in the video from City Beauty, but 40% off. I mean, if that is not a Black Friday sale, I don't know what is. Okay, let's dive into foundation. I'm gonna go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I used this recently in a video, and I just was reminded of what makes this foundation so darn good. I have loved this foundation for probably 2 decades, but let's be honest, you guys see me use so many foundations here on my channel. So this one just kind of got tossed in a drawer and honestly forgotten about until recently. And the day that I wore this, I actually got a compliment from Paul on my makeup. And Paul is very sweet. You guys, he compliments me all the time, but he rarely compliments my makeup. I don't know. I guess it's just because he's used to seeing me made up all the time, right? But when I had this on that day, he's like, your skin looks really good. And I was like, huh, that's interesting that you noticed. So I was wearing this foundation. What I love about this foundation is just how long wearing it is. I also love how lightweight it is, but how great the coverage of it is. You get really exceptional coverage without the feel or look of a heavy foundation. And this foundation is one that you can apply and you can just trust it's gonna look good all day, all night for whatever occasion you have. It also photographs really beautifully. I'm applying the shade 2C1. It's a pretty good match for me. If anything, I might be able to even go a tad bit darker, but this one works well. And I'm using the BK Beauty 106 brush to apply this. And you guys know the deal. This is my favorite foundation brush. I really just kind of press it and work the product into the skin in the center of the face. And then I go in and buff and shear and sweep out around the jawline to get a very seamless blend. We don't want any harsh lines of foundation on our jawline. So how are you guys feeling about the holidays? Do you have a lot of events? I actually have a kind of quieter season than last year, I feel like. I don't really have anything on the calendar aside from like our Thanksgiving family dinner and just family. We are moving in a few weeks, but like this time last year, I was traveling so much. I had Dancing with the Stars, that huge event that I did. This year is much quieter. I don't have a lot of parties to go to. That may change. I'm filming this, mid-November, but yeah, I don't have a lot of invitations coming in this year, which is okay with me. I have said this before, but I'm such a homebody, and I feel like the older that I get, the more I just want to be home. I just want to be home. Sometimes I feel bad, like I should be more social, but I just cherish time, quiet time at home with my dogs and my husband, of course, and my kids. Although my kids are so social these days, they're always at friend's house and always out and about, but we're just in that season of life, so that's okay. Okay, look at how good this looks. This looks so good. It's so beautiful. And it actually, because my skin was so radiant before from using that City Beauty mask, I have a pretty good glow. I wouldn't really describe this foundation as being a glowy foundation, but remember, your foundation is really going to take shape of however you prepped your skin. So if you go in with this foundation with 0 skin prep, this foundation is going to look very matte and possibly pretty dry. If you go in with this after you've hydrated, plumped, used all the serums, you're going to get some of that glow peeking through. But overall, I would say this foundation has a pretty like natural finish, meaning it's not going to look flat and matte. and it's not gonna look overly glowy if you just kind of do the standard, maybe moisturizer. I think you get what I'm saying. If you over moisturize, it's gonna look more glowy. If you under moisturize, it's gonna look more matte, okay? There we go. My lips are a little dehydrated. I'm looking in the mirror and they just look so dry and small. So I'm gonna go in and I'm actually gonna apply the Clear City lips over my lips first. And then when it comes to doing our lips, I'll remove this, but this is one of my favorite lip plumpers. This also is 40% off, you guys. One of my favorite lip plumpers. The reason I'm gonna apply it on my lips now as like a skin prep is because it is very much like a lip treatment. It has hyaluronic acid spheres in it, so it's very hydrating. It's not just a gloss that plumps. It actually, does good things for your lips and adds hydration. But you're gonna see the color of my lips shift over the next like 60 seconds. It's crazy. I don't know if you noticed before, but they were kind of pale and light. You're about to see them look more flush. You're gonna see more color to the lips, just natural color because this is clear. This is gonna make them more full and very hydrated. I'm gonna let this sit while I go do the rest of my makeup. When I get to my lips, we'll remove it. We'll apply lip liner, but my lips will be hydrated and they will be plump and they're just gonna look amazing. Okay, let's go in with concealer and then we'll put some brows on. I'm gonna go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. And in this, I wear the shade 3.5C, and I do feel like this is a pretty good match for me. I love this concealer. I love the flat shape of the applicator. Do you see how flat that is? And it's actually pretty wide for a concealer applicator, like wider and flatter than most. So it really allows you to like get right in these inner corners and also kind of spread product, which is really great. So I'll apply it right here and then I will kind of spread it a little bit under. I'm gonna go back in, dip it and get a little bit more. I also feel like you don't pick up so much product when you dip it in. Concealer is very easy to over apply. I make that mistake and over apply all the time. But I really feel like this wand prevents that because it doesn't grab a ton of product, which may require you to dip in more to get more, but at least you're not gonna make the mistake of over applying as often. And when we over apply our concealer, especially this time of year when it's dry and cold outside, it just can magnify texture, look cakey and heavy. Now I'm gonna go in with the A506 concealer brush. I'm just gonna tap this underneath the eye. By the way, you guys, BK Beauty is also having our Black Friday sale. And our entire site is like 20 to up to 35% off. So some of our brush sets are up to 35% off. You guys, great deals happening over there. So I'm using the A506. I'm just tapping it underneath the eye. You can of course pick this brush up for 20% off. I'll tag it in YouTube shopping below. And I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. I'm also gonna pull any excess over here onto the lid and right under the brow to kind of highlight the brow. Look at the color of my lips now. Isn't that crazy? So crazy. They're just so like full and red, we're not red, but just a lot more color to the lips than they were when I started. I'm gonna pop a little B-roll video of here at me when we started this video so you can kind of see the difference. It's kind of wild. And that's just from the City Lips. There's no color to that. Oh, this concealer is good. This concealer is also very long wearing, just like the foundation. So I love these products for special occasion makeup or photo shoots. Anytime that I just need my makeup to look good for a long period of time and I don't want to have to worry about how it looks or touching up or fading or getting shiny or moving. I don't have to worry about that with these products. They're very, very good. We are getting there. Now, I feel like I need to put some brows on. I forgot to leave the house with brows this morning. I usually always put my brows on before I leave, but we were in a bit of a hurry this morning. Okay, for brows, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use my Revie Beauty brow pencil. And I'm first just gonna kind of comb the brows in place. And then we're just gonna go and fill these in. There's two shades I use. I'm using light brown. I also like the shade Taupe. That works as well for me. And I'm just gonna kind of fill in this part of the brow. I'm gonna shape it. What I love about the Revie pencil is you don't have to apply a lot of pressure and the pigment really comes off of the product onto the skin. So you can really sketch and get that pretty, like soft, natural looking brow. I'm creating the shape with this pencil, but then I'm going to go in with the brow gel to create a little more volume from, and getting more a full look to the brows, like actual real hair. This pencil is great though for shaping and sketching the brow. Perfect. Look at that. So much better this side versus that side. I always take my time right here to really get nice, soft, wispy strokes in the brow. Any area where your brows are very sparse, like there's not a lot of hair, take your time to make soft little strokes. It can be very tempting to go in and put a lot of pressure to fill that space in quickly because again, there's missing shape there. But when you do that, it's very easy to go too harsh and too heavy with the brow. And then you're just left with a brow that's just too strong for the eye or for the face. I'm gonna extend my brow a little bit back here. Perfect. Okay, now let's compare the two sides and make sure that we are similar enough. We do not have to be perfect. Oh my gosh, look at those lips. That is crazy. That is really wild. I mean, you could literally see the transformation over this last couple minutes as I applied my brow. So the shape is similar enough. It looks good. It's definitely not perfect. It's not completely symmetrical. My face is not completely symmetrical, and that's okay. Now I'm going to go in and add a little volume. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and I have the shade Taupe. I really love this brow gel for a real good affordable brow gel that gives volume. And I'm just going to start here at the bulk of the brow and kind of comb it through. And I'm also going to back comb it to give it a little bit more fluff. This particular one is on its last leg. I should probably toss it and go get a new one. It's just kind of running a little dry. So I need to spend a little more time. I'm also going to comb the hairs up a little bit. And then I'm going to back comb the product in here and then go back up. Good, we have a really nice brow. Okay, now we need to add some warmth to the face. We have concealed and made the foundation and the skin look flawless, right? Everything's covered, everything looks perfect, but the problem is it looks a little too perfect, a little too flawless. We need to add dimension. We need to add warmth back to the face. So I'm going to go in with a bronzer, and I haven't yet set with powder. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I haven't yet gone with setting powder. I definitely will, but I don't feel like I need to right now. I'm going to go in with the Christian Dior bronzer. This is the shade 10. And I'm going to go in with the 104 brush, the BKBD 104 brush. And I'm just going to kind of swirl this around on the tip of the brush. And we are just going to create a little bit of warmth and structure right here on the cheekbones, kind of pushing the brush into the skin. This brush is large and fluffy, so it's not designed to pick up a lot of product. It's really designed to pick up less, giving you a lighter, more sheer application. So I'm going to kind of press it into the skin just so I get a little more payoff. I'm going to show you guys another application with a different brush on the other side so you can really understand how brushes impact your application. So I'm sweeping this into the hairline. Now you can see you're starting to see the color, but it's definitely taking me a little bit more effort, but that's okay because I'm getting a very soft, natural flush of warmth, right? If you wanted more structure and you wanted more impact, you could go in with something like the N18. This is really great for this. And you could pick up your product with this brush. This brush is a lot more dense, and the shape of it is actually pretty ideal for this area of the face. But because it's more dense, it's going to apply more product with more impact quicker. So I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to kind of press and almost stamp the product into the skin. Do you see that? Do you see how quickly that color came off? And it's giving me more structure. Do you see how this is just kind of like more sheer and in a larger space? And this is giving me more structure, more chiseling effect. So if you are really into contouring or getting that more chiseled look, this brush is great for that. I'm also going to take this brush, and instead of using the larger side of the brush, I'm going to use this part right here. Oops, I don't want to give you guys that finger. I'm going to give you this side right here. So I'm going to kind of just go right into the pan with this. I'm not going like this, and we're going to use that part of the brush to add some warmth to the hairline. But do you see how just quickly that came off versus the 104? This is going to give you more impact quicker. And it's not that one's better than the other, it's just very different, right? Okay, now I'm going to just kind of even out so that we don't have one side that looks stronger than the other. We're going to go and we're going to even everything out. I really just wanted to show you the difference between those two brushes because they both can be used for the same products, but they're going to give you very different results. It's all about kind of understanding what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish and achieve. I'm going to use this brush for the side of the nose too. We are there. Now we have some warmth. I love this. Okay, let's go in and add some color to the cheeks. Now I have two blushes we're going to be using today. I'm going to go first in with the Charlotte Tilbury Glow Blush Stick. This is the shade Peachy Glow, and I love this product. I'm going to go in with the N20. This is my favorite blush brush at the moment, and I'm going to really pick up that product, and we're going to go just kind of press it into the cheekbone and up into the temples. This is a really great blush for dry skin or for like winter skin. I think most of us experience drier skin this time of year, and this will give you that really beautiful, healthy glow. It is very glowy. It also has a lot of pigment, so it lasts like all day or night. So it's perfect for a special occasion. Okay, now we're gonna compare the two sides, and we're gonna make sure that we are on the right track and that our placement is great. As I get older, the blush placement definitely has to change and move a little bit. Everything is kind of falling a little on my face, and I want to just give a little lift with the blush, so I don't want to put it too low. Okay, let's go and set this cream blush a little and just add a little bit more. Actually, you know what? We're going to wait. I'm going to go in with the Ilia blush. I hope I don't forget to do this at the end, but I'm going to wait until I have on my eye makeup to add this blush because I don't want to over blush right now before I see what's on the eyes. I'm going to go a little bit more glam with the eyes, and I don't want the cheeks to compete with the eyes. I really want the eyes to be the focus. So we're going to wait on this, but let's go ahead and go into our eye makeup today. And you guys, I'm very excited about the eye makeup today. I'm going to be using the Hung Van Gogh palette. I've shared this one before, but I haven't really played with the shimmers too much on camera. I have played with them off camera, but we're going to go in. This is the new neutral palette. He launched several beautiful palettes. Some of them are very colorful. Some of them are very warm. I went with this one because it was more neutral and I feel very wearable for me. So we're going to go in with this. Now I am going to use a little bit of this concealer to kind of prep my eyelid. I'm gonna do a little swipe here, a little swipe there, and I'm gonna just blend this out. I'm gonna use the concealer brush to blend this out. Blend and press, press, press. I'm gonna remove any excess and then go back and press some more. That way we don't have excess concealer. And I'm gonna go in and we're gonna first lay down this light shade, almost to kind of set everything. We're gonna use it as a highlight. So we're gonna go in first with this little light shade, and we're gonna start right under the brow. That's where I want most of the product to apply because I want it to be real bright there. And then whatever's left over, I'm just going to softly dust on the lid. Think of this as like, you know how we use powder to set our foundation? Think of this as like setting the eyelid and setting that concealer that we just applied. All right, now we're going to go in and create some shape in the crease. So I'm going to go in with this first shade right here, this mid-tone matte brown. I'm going to use the same brush, but I'm just using the tip of the brush. This will allow me more control, so I don't apply too much of this all over the eye, and I really keep it concentrated where I want it, which is going to be right in the outer corner and into that crease. So I'm going to start there in the outer corner, and then once I get pretty comfortable with the application and how much product is coming off, we're going to go and sweep this into the crease. This is going to create more shape in the crease. These powders are really beautiful. They've got great pigment payoff. They're easy to blend. Very nice quality. If you do not follow Hung Van Gogh, he is a celebrity makeup artist. He's here on YouTube and he's also on Instagram and I'm sure TikTok too. But he is extremely talented. He does such beautiful, beautiful glam that I feel is just classic and timeless and not, it's just gorgeous. It's just like my kind of like glam. It's like if I could do my makeup like that every day, I would. He's like Selena Gomez's like main makeup artist. I think he did her makeup for her wedding actually. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that he did. And from what I've heard, I've never met him in person, but from what I hear, I know people who have, he's just the loveliest person, which makes me love him even more. Like, seriously, I just love when people that are successful are very kind and humble, and I heard that he very much is. So, okay, so as you can tell, I'm really taking my time to kind of build this color up. So we're starting the outer corner, and then we're just working our way over in the crease. What I love about these shadows, too, is they are very buildable. You don't go in and mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like some eyeshadows that are super, super pigmented are actually hard to work with. And these are not. They have just the right amount of pigment to where you have the ability to get something soft or build it up and get something more impact with more impact. But look at that. That's so pretty. Like, let's just close this eye up. And I just love how subtle that looks, right? Like when you look at my eye, you just see definition and shape. You don't necessarily see a lot of makeup. But when you remove it and you see there's nothing on this side, you can really see what the makeup has done. While I'm doing this, you guys, I would love to hear from you. I think I've said this before, but my biggest reward and like what I love the most and what makes me just lights me up is when I get feedback from you guys and you tell me, you know, that something I shared in a video helped you. So if there's anything you've learned from this video yet, drop a comment, let me know. Or if there's anything you've learned from my previous videos that has helped you, please drop a comment, let me know. I think it not only makes me feel good, but it also helps other people because they can read those comments and maybe they didn't see that video, but you just shared a tip that you learned and now they can try too. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have created that shape, I'm going to step back and compare the two eyes. Lovely. Okay, next we're going to go in and we're going to add a tiny bit more dimension. So I'm going to go in with this darker shade, this darker brown matte shade, and we're going to take a little bit on the tip. And this one, we are really going to just kind of keep it concentrated to right here in this outer corner. Now it's pretty dark and strong, so I'm going to go to the other side and use a little bit of what's on my brush to apply some there so I kind of spread the load and I don't load it all up in one eye. Now, I can tell you right now, this doesn't look super blended, but that's okay. I'm going to go in, I'm going to take a clean brush and we're going to go and blend this out. This is the A503 from the Angie Han Flashy brush. This is a very soft, fluffy crease brush. It's larger than what I was just using, but it's clean now. So I'm just using the brush to blend this out. I didn't add any shadow to this. I'm just using this for its fullness and its softness to get a nice, pretty blend. Okay, go back to the 202, pick up a little more, and create that shape. And just kind of blend this until you feel like it's nice and soft. One little trick too is once you've gotten your dark color on, go back in with the first lighter color you used and use that to kind of tone down or soften the darker shade if you feel like you need to. Now looks like this, they're a little more detailed, right? So it's gonna take you a little more time. Just have fun with your makeup and look at this time as just an opportunity to just be with yourself and get creative and inspired, and don't try and rush through it. Especially when we're working with darker shadows, if we get in too much of a rush, things just don't look even or blended and they can look really harsh quickly. Perfect. Okay, so do you see how everything's looking softer now? And the key is switching back and forth between brushes, using one to place and then one to soften. This is the brush to soften, and that smaller brush, the 202, was the one to place. Next, we're gonna take the BK Beauty 203. This is a flat eyeshadow brush. This is really great for placement on the lid. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, this really pretty rose gold shade. And we're gonna apply this on the center of the lid. Just gonna press it down. So beautiful, it just lights up the eyes, so pretty. We're really just gonna press, press, press. So with this shadow, any shadows like this that are very shimmery, it's really best to press the shadow. You notice I'm really pressing. I've got a good grip on my brush. I'm using a flat brush and I am pressing versus a fluffy brush that's soft because it's not gonna really pick and adhere these particles up. You need something firm and flat. And I'm not sweeping and blending, I'm really pressing to get that to adhere to the skin. Remember, I still have not powdered underneath the eyes, you guys, and as I look at my skin, I don't even feel the need to. That Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer and foundation combo doesn't make me feel like I need to powder. I feel like everything is kind of self-set. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in now that I have that color on the lid. I'm gonna take this light color again, or this lighter color again. So we've used this one and we've used this one. I'm gonna take the lighter of the two, and I'm just going to run it kind of all over to really merge all these shades together and have a soft airbrush kind of seamless look. We definitely have some separation, right? We have very light here, we have dark here, but the goal is to just have that transition be a very seamless transition and not have like light and then a harsh dark. You know what I mean? You want it all to seamlessly blend. So if you look at the eyeshadow closely, it's a really seamless process in transition. And you need good brushes for that, you guys. You need good, clean brushes, good, clean, soft brushes. Okay, for liner, I'm taking this dark eyeliner in the shade Chestnut from Hourglass. This is a really dark, rich brown and almost has some like burgundy to it. It's very deep. And I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna try and keep it very close to my lash line. And I'm just gonna run it on my lash line and about halfway over. These are very nice, creamy pencils. Okay, now before I go to the other side, I am gonna take a little brush and I'm gonna go into this shade here. This is the darker shadow we used, and I'm gonna load this brush up and we're just gonna kind of place it on top of that liner. Just kind of tap it on top of that liner. We're gonna make it a little thicker at the very outer corner. Perfect. Oh, look at that. So good. So we have some definition, but we didn't create a really thick liner that covers all that beautiful eyeshadow that we just laid down, okay? Okay, next I'm gonna take the N22. This is a little like pencil brush with a nice defined tip. And we're gonna go into this lighter shade, the one we used in the crease. And we're just going to kind of drag this from the outer corner on the lower lash line over to about halfway. This just gives some definition on the lower lashes, but I don't want it to be too heavy because we're pretty heavy on top and I don't want the entire eye to be surrounded by dark, heavy shadow, right? I just want it on the top eye, part of the eye, and just subtly define the lower lash line. Okay, let's go ahead and pop some lashes on. These are the Ardell Naked Lashes. They blend seamlessly with this little like invisible band. Now I always have to cut off a little bit of the end of false lashes, and I find that most people's eye shapes do need. Lash strips are typically made to be a little bit longer than like the average eye. So that way they kind of fit everyone. So they do fit those eyes that need the full strip, but ones that have shorter, which are most of us, can usually just trim them a little bit and they'll work great. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit of glue. Try not to apply too much. Just a nice thin layer that's even across the entire lash band. All right, perfect. And I'm just gonna kind of set it right on the lash line gently and just kind of let it dry. I do like to let the glue dry a little bit before I go in. That way it's not so slippery and it doesn't slide around the eye, more just kind of sticks. All right, now I'm gonna let these completely dry. I am gonna go and do a little mascara underneath. That just helps your natural lashes adhere, or I'm sorry, they don't necessarily adhere, but they blend into the false lashes a bit more. Plus, these lashes are very light and wispy, and I could add a little more volume with mascara. So I'm gonna let this dry though before we do that. What we're gonna go ahead and do now is move into lips. Now remember I had that City Lips on, so I'm gonna go and blot that and just remove it. That way I can get liner to adhere to the lips. The beauty is my lips are now plump, they're hydrated, they're not dry, and they have this really beautiful natural color to them. Okay, for liner, I'm gonna go in with the shade from NYX. This is the Line Out Loud in the shade Leave a Legacy. And it's a really pretty, just kind of like spicy nude. What I love about this lip pencil is it's very creamy. It's very long wearing too. So by pressing it together, I'm kind of spreading that liner almost so like it's a sheer layer of lipstick on the lips. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade right here from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the shade Peach Bud. It's a really pretty nude peach. And I'm gonna do a little bit on the lips. I don't wanna do much because I am gonna go in with the City Lips gloss. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with the City Lips in the shade San Diego. And this is my favorite. Highly recommend this. It's a really pretty rose with gold shimmer, but the shimmer is so refined that it's not like sparkly or glittery on the lips. It just adds more volume. Ah, it's so pretty. It looks pretty on peach lipsticks. It looks pretty on pink. So good. Oh my gosh, it looks so, so good. I love the City Lips. If you have not tried them, you will love them, and they're 40% off right now. That looks so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, before we move on, you guys, there is another City Beauty product that I wanted to share that I've been loving. It didn't quite fit into the application of this video, but this cleanser, this is the Gentle Glow Nourishing Cleanser. It is so, so good. It's very thin and jelly-like. It really spreads a little bit, goes a long way. It completely removes all my eye makeup, dirt, oil, debris. Very gentle. It's not harsh. It's not stripping on the skin. And what I love about it is when you pump this out, like some facial cleansers, you do one pump and you get a lot of product. This, you don't get a lot of product out. So you really have the ability to like use a very little amount or to pump several pumps out to get a lot out. So I feel like there's like zero waste with this product. I've really been enjoying it. This is a newer cleanser that I recently tried the last couple months and I'm loving it. So I really wanted to recommend this. Also the Hydra Mask and the City Lips are just like, if you're gonna get 3 products from the brand, which I think you should get more because everything's 40% off. Those are the 3 right now that I'm loving and I wanted to recommend. Okay, now, oh my gosh, look at these lashes. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of mascara. I'm gonna go in with the Revita lash. This is the dual-sided, one side's primer, one side's mascara. I'm going to just pop a little bit underneath to add some volume. I just love these lashes. They're so pretty. I'll put a tiny bit on the lower lashes, just a little. Again, we don't want the lower lashes to be too heavy and dark. I'd probably curl my hair for a special occasion though, but I did just wash it today, so it is fresh. Okay, there we go. This is the final look. What do you think? I love it. Just, you know, definitely glammed up, really beautiful. We got that shimmer on the lid. We got the lashes. We got the glossy high volume lips. Okay, the blush. Let's go back and add a little blush. I still think we can. This is the Ilia Soft Focus Blurring Blushes, and this is the shade Breathless. I love this. And we're just going to apply a tiny bit on top of that cream blush. Not too much because we don't want to compete with the eyes, but I do think we could get a little bit more here. I'm gonna take a little bit on the side of the nose too. Okay, and I do think we need to powder in the forehead a little. We're getting a tiny bit shiny. So let's go in. I'm using the Dior. These are the new powders. They're called Nude Forever Filter, Matte Filter. They're nice. I'm a little undecided on how I feel about them. They're nice. They're a little heavy. So they're not a product that I would like say, oh my gosh, I love, go get, I recommend, but they're not bad. If you want to try them, I don't think you'll be disappointed, but they're not like, I don't think I would repurchase it if that makes sense. And there's a pretty strong scent to it, which doesn't bother me, but I know that fragrance can be a little irritating for some skin types, and that is pretty heavily fragranced. Okay, we are done. Here is the final look. What do we think? Let me know down below. I love it. This is definitely something that I would wear to a Christmas party or a special occasion if I had any coming up. I will keep you posted. I have none on the calendar now, which is okay with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, be sure to check out the City Beauty site-wide sale, 40% off, you guys. It's insane. I'm gonna link those products below that I mentioned, and I'm gonna list a few of my other favorite City Beauty products as well. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the time you spend with me here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.